Let me know when you're ready.
I'm rolling when you're ready.
Okay. Okay, so if we are talking about teaching shot put to junior high kids, the most important thing that we do, first of all, is choose the right kind of athletes. A lot of coaches make the mistakes and try to choose the biggest kids, or like the tallest kids or the strongest kids. But what you want is your fastest, most powerful, and most athletic kids. So that's how you can start, by choosing the right athlete to begin with. And then once you've chosen the right athlete, the first thing that you need to do is teach them how to hold the shot put properly. So Nyla, if you'll step in the ring. Okay, so the first thing that you want the athletes to do is to hold the shot in their hand the right way. Some athletes make the mistake of putting the shot like in the palm of their hand. So just down here they want to hold it in the palm of their hand, or they want to hold it on their very fingertips, like way up here. Okay, but the proper position is to hold the shot put right on the calluses of their hand. And if you look through the thumb side, you should be able to put one finger just right underneath. Okay, so that's how you know that the shot put is in the right position. So that's number one. The next thing we're going to do is talk about neck placement. Okay, so I always teach my athletes to take the shot put over their head, then lower it, and then put it right in their neck. Okay, and if they're doing it right, you see that Nyla can open her hand and take her thumb off of it. That lets us know that we've held the shot put in the right position. What we don't want to see is athletes try to like tuck it under their chin. Some coaches teach that, but that's not really where you want it. You want it kind of right here under the ear, kind of like if you've ever had something really sour and it kind of gets you right in this little area. Okay, we want it to fall right underneath there. Okay, so now once we've got proper neck position, we're just going to work on releasing. Before we even start to throw, now it's going to get right here at the toe board. She's going to go through that same routine, up, down, and in her neck. She's going to hold her left arm up. Okay, because this is our block arm, and we'll get to that in a second. So the left side is what we call the block side. And so before she even gets to throw, she has to stop herself with her block side, which is what we call pulling the trigger. And then after she pulls the trigger, then the right side can come through. And what she's going to make sure that she does is, as she's releasing, her thumb is going to be down. So we always want a thumbs down when we're throwing. Okay, so Nyla, if you could just show us that drill. Okay, we're going to go up, down, left arm up, and she's going to just push. Okay, notice how her thumb is down and she pushes the shot put away from her. Okay, go get it. Okay, and you can just take your athletes through that a couple times. Okay, up, down, and then press. The most important thing is that this elbow stays high and this thumb stays down. We don't want them to drop the elbow and throw it like a baseball. Okay, so she's going to do it again. She's going to go up, down, left arm is up. She's going to push it away. Her thumb is down. Okay, and she's going to come through with an inside out follow through. In basketball, we have an up and down follow through. In the shot put, you want to make sure that your thumb is down and that the follow through goes from the inside to the outside, just like that. Okay. All right, so then once they have mastered once you've mastered just the front part of the throw, then you can start in the power position. And this is probably the most important part of the throw. And that's why it's called the power position, because this is where you get all of your power from. So Nyla is going to get in the ring and she's going to have a heel-toe relationship. If you are a right-handed thrower, that means that your left foot is going to be slightly behind your right foot, okay, kind of staggered. So your right foot is up a little bit, your left foot is behind. And you'll see where her toe is pointed. If we look at the ring as a clock, and straight at the back is 12 o'clock, and right here adjacent to her is 9 o'clock. This would be 9 o'clock. We would want your toe to be facing somewhere between 10 and 11. So when we start, we always line up at 9 o'clock, but then once she gets into the power position, she's going to make sure that her toe is facing somewhere in this position. And we do that because when she starts to turn, okay, coming from all the way at the back of the ring to the front of the ring would be a 180-degree turn, and that's just too far to throw. Okay, and then if we started at 9 o'clock, we're cutting ourselves off short. Now we're only getting about a 90-degree turn. So we want to get somewhere in between 120 or greater. Okay, so she's going to get heel-toe relationship. Now here is where she is going to make sure that she is in the right position, okay? Notice that she's putting most of her weight on the right side, okay? Get right here, just get in the power position for him. Okay, now if she wants to lift up her left leg, lift your left leg. Okay, she can freely lift up her left leg. What we don't want is for the weight to be shifted kind of in the middle. So shift your weight to the middle, and it's hard for her to pick up her left leg, okay? So a good power position, you'll know that they're in a good power position because if she drops this shot put, okay, it would land right in front of her and not on the ground. So power position is here. I'm heel-toe relationship. I'm getting all the weight on the right side. Okay, I'm lifting up that left side. I'm on the ball of my right foot. Bend a little bit more for me, Nyla. Okay, on the ball of my right foot, and I'm on balance. Okay, so in the power position. Okay, notice that her left arm is nice and relaxed. Okay, and then she's gonna start working from the ground up. So the throw starts with the feet. A lot of throwers wanna get into the ring and they think that it's all about upper body. So the first thing they wanna do is throw the shot put, but the most power that you have comes from the ground. So in a throw, we work from the ground up. So if I'm here in the power position, the first thing that I'm gonna do, first of all, I'm checking for balance. I've had the shot put, it would be in front of me. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is turn my feet. This is the most powerful part of the throw. I'm gonna use all of this energy that's in my legs. I'm gonna turn my feet first, and then I'm going to release the shot put. So make sure that your throwers are learning feet first, then hips, then arm, okay? Feet, hips, then arm. I turn my feet, then my hips follow next, and finally my arm comes through. Okay, so Nyla, could you show us what it looks like in the power position? Just take one throw, one good throw. Okay, starting from the ground up. Excellent. Okay, go get it for us. After they have learned the power position, once you feel like your throwers are comfortable with the power position, and make sure that they're still stopping the left side like we talked about when we were at the front of the ring. Remember at the front of the ring, we pulled the left side and then we threw. So in the power position, it's the same thing. I get here, I'm in the ring. Okay, I turn, stop my left, and then throw. And that all comes from working from the ground up. Once they've mastered the power position, then we can start moving them on to the back of the ring. A lot of coaches want to teach the shuffle, which is where you get here and you just kind of shuffle through the ring. But it would be much easier for you to teach them the proper throwing technique now, so that once they progress, they won't have to relearn something. Even if they don't master it, at least they have the foundation. So out of the back of the ring, you want to make sure that if they're right-handed, again, it's always the opposite if they're left, that they're lining up directly out of the back of the ring. So my right foot would be right here at 12 o'clock, okay, and then my left foot would be kind of behind me, just like we were in the power position. Again, all the weight is in front of me. So if I'm holding a shot put, the shot put should be outside of the ring if I'm in the right position. A lot of times we get back like this, okay, again, that shot put would drop right on my thigh if I had it. So make sure that all of the weight is on the right side, okay? Then this is just a reach and push. You're gonna reach back with your left leg and push with your right leg. So this left leg is gonna come here. I'm gonna load up. I'm gonna reach for the toe board here. Notice how that brings my foot off the ground, and then I'm pushing off the right side. And then that puts me right back in the power position, right? And then I just finish the throw. So it looks like this. If I'm in the back, I'm gonna reach with my left, push with my right. I'm landing in that same power position, and then I finish the throw, okay? So now could you demonstrate that? So we call these pause glides, and this just makes sure that they're set up in the right position. And sometimes you'll see that kids kind of like to open up and they'll look like this once they land. So I'm gonna hold Nyla's left arm, and that's gonna make sure that she stays to the back of the ring. Okay, here we go. So she's gonna reach and push. Okay, she's landing right there in the power position, and then she's gonna finish the throw. And then once they've mastered that, you put it all together, okay? Put it all together. So instead of pausing, now I get here, I'm at the back of the ring, I reach and push, and then I finish the throw, okay? All right, so take one really good throw. Well, not really good, but good positions. Okay, so she's gonna reach and push. She's gonna keep her left arm back towards me, and she's gonna finish the throw. Okay, She kind of paused a little bit, and that will happen sometimes. But what you want to happen is for them to come all the way through the throw with no hesitation. So out of the back, reach, push, and throw. And that's it. You'll see some coaches that are going to teach kids to put this left foot right up to the toe board and then start the throw from there. And that's great because that's where you want to end up. Like if I was doing a full throw and I'm reaching, ideally I would want to end up right at the toe board. But reality is some kids just aren't gonna get there. Now, if you can get up here, that's great because you can touch all inside of this. But what happens is sometimes if you teach kids that they got to be up here, then we start getting into stepping on the toe board. So the more powerful a thrower becomes, the closer they will get to the toe board. And if they're not getting there, you might even tell them to step back some. So if your kid is super powerful, they can start at the back of the ring on a full throw. If they're not so powerful, okay, and we're really trying to get up there, have them take a step or two back, and it's the same thing. I line up, I get here, see, and that brings me right to the toe board, okay? So it really just depends on how much power the athlete is gonna generate. That depends, I mean, this is great because that's the difference between taking a throw from here and taking a throw from there. You know, that's 6 or 7 inches, a foot or so, but it just really depends on how powerful they are and how much control they have once they get here. Because if they get here and they're stepping on it, that's not really helping them, okay? So I always teach, like most circles, most rings have a hole right in the middle. I always teach kids to put their right foot right there in the middle and then go from there, okay?
Last question I had on the when you go through that push. Is there a tendency for middle schoolers to try to overthrow where they sling around like they would in discus?
Okay, so there are 2 ways you can look at it. You can teach kids to do a reverse, or you can teach kids to do a non-reverse. And what happens is sometimes you do get middle schoolers who come here and they throw across their body, but I always tell them to try to aim for the right side of the ring. If you have kids that are throwing over their body, then overcompensate that by telling them to come to the right side. So if I'm a thrower and I'm used to throwing like this, and now my coach tells me to aim towards the right, once I get here, now I'm in the middle. So if they're overcompensating, make them come to the right, or teach them how to do a reverse if you have kids that are that advanced. And if we're gonna reverse in a throw, that means that I'm here, I go through all of this motion first, okay? And then once I'm ready to throw, then I reverse my feet. That's why they call it a reverse. So if they're advanced, maybe they've worked with a coach in the summer or they've worked with somebody outside, this is not their first time, then there are kids who can reverse. I get here, I finish the turn, and then I switch my feet or reverse my feet. So I push and then reverse. And a non-reverse would just be teaching kids to get here, stop their block, and finish up all and over the throw. So I always tell people, you gotta think about the shot put like pole vault. The left leg is your pole in pole vault, and you wanna catapult yourself up and over the left side. So when they finish a throw, they should be up tall. This left leg, you should be able to see the flex in their calf muscle if they're up tall like they should be. So get that left leg up tall and then throw over yourself. Kind of like you're pole vaulting or something.
All right, perfect. And so then my last question, just recommendation from what you taught.
Okay.
What are the main takeaways for a middle schooler that's never done it before?
Hand position, okay, how to properly hold the shot put. So make sure that we're holding it right up here. Neck placement. Make sure that you can have your thumb and release it. We don't want the shot put down here. We don't want our elbow here. Sometimes you'll hear coaches say, get your elbow up, and then you'll have kids who get here, and that's way too high. Okay, so just make sure that it's nice and comfortable. The main thing is that if I open my hand and close my hand, the shot put would not fall. My elbow would be here so that I'm not throwing it like a baseball. Okay, as long as they're pushing it away from their body, and you can even do med ball drills that help that. It's kind of like in basketball when you do a chest pass, you get your big med ball and you make them just push and thumb down, inside out, follow through. So hand placement, neck placement, and then the power position is the most important part of the throw. If you don't master the power position, then you can't progress. And that just all comes from distributing the weight properly. So make sure that when they get in the ring, okay, it's right leg bent. If you're a right-handed thrower, it would be the opposite for a lefty. Put this weight on the right side. Don't get comfortable with being here, because the farther you throw, it's all about weight transfer. So if I have 80% of my weight on the right side and then I transfer it over to the left side like we were talking about, okay, then I have a much better chance of throwing far. But if I get here and I only have 10% of my weight on the right side, there's nothing left for me to transfer to the left side. So getting them in the proper power position is essential. That's right foot here, the weight in front, check that 2 ways. Is the shot put in front of me? If I dropped it, would it land in front of me? Or if I dropped it, would it land on my thigh? And then, can I lift my left leg? Okay, is my left leg able to come off the ground without having to shift? If I have to shift the weight, it would look like this. I'm lifting my left, okay, and I would have to rock into it. But if I'm already there, I can pick that left leg up and there are no issues. Okay, then also this left side. A lot of people ignore the left side block. But when you get here and you get to the front of the ring, you have to stop the left side. And that would help with those kids who are throwing over here too. Okay, so if I get here and I tell myself I have to stop before I throw. A lot of kids want to get here and they finish like this. The left side doesn't do anything. So get here, stop your left side, and then finish through the throw.
Perfect.
Great.
Good.
All right, just let me know if there's